Hey everyone, it is Sunday, August 25th. I'm still trying to stay out of the grocery stores with the exception of a run to Sprouts for clearance. And usually I go on Fridays, but I was busy making my fall decor video Friday and working in between. And I just kept putting off going to the store. They say you save money if you keep putting it off, right? Well, today was the day I had to do all of my little errands, the bank, yada. And I didn't think I'd have any luck at Sprouts, but I popped in there after I hit the bank. I'm heading into Sprouts, hoping I get lucky on a Sunday afternoon. What are the chances? And I got a little lucky. Well, once again, Sprouts does not have much on clearance here today, but I'll take what I can get. And then I decided I would stop at Aldi after I hit the chlorine store, because I had a couple of things that I was completely out of that I am just not willing to live without. And I wanted to see if they had any pumpkin marinara. Even though it was not on their Aldi ad this week or the upcoming ad, I just thought, it seems like last year they got that stuff in twice. Once earlier than I thought and once later than I thought. So let me spin you around and show you what I got today. So let's start with the Sprouts run. At least I got a few things. I was happy about that. And I've got to say, I have never seen asparagus on their clearance before, ever. Except for kind of like chopped up with other things in it. Never just fresh stalks like this. So I was really excited to see those. Those were $1.75 each. And then these super green were 99 cents today. And one thing I really like about these greens is they have collards in there, which are really high in calcium. And they say it's not really safe to take calcium tablets, but I'm at that age where it's a good idea to try to get extra calcium. So if you eat 1 cup of these greens, and there's about 7 servings in here, that's 10% of the calcium you need. And look at that, 80% of the vitamin C you need for the day, and a whole lot of vitamin A as well. So yay for the super greens. And my receipt came to a whopping $4.49. I don't know about you all, but in my area, it doesn't matter what grocery store I go to, this time of year asparagus is running around $3.99 a pound. It's sometimes a little cheaper than that at Aldi, but Aldi always has the super skinny stalks, and I prefer kind of these medium size because the skinny ones go bad really fast and they don't have nearly the flavor. So I'm thrilled to get this little bit of greens, but what I had really been hoping to find at Sprouts today was some Brussels sprouts, because that is something I have found there pretty frequently on clearance, and I am just craving them for some reason. And I have a lot of pre-cooked bacon, that I cooked myself in my Meats, Bits, and Bites bin. So they have Brussels sprouts on sale this week for $2.89. But man, their blueberries shot up almost $3 a pint now. I'm glad I stocked up when I did. And same thing on the eggs, $2.66 last week. And this week they've jumped to $3.28, so a 30% increase in 1 week. Their better quality eggs aren't that much higher, so I say buy the better quality eggs. If you're gonna get those kind of markups, at least get the good stuff, right? Milk went down 3 cents a gallon. It had been being $3.13. And go figure, because butter and cream have gone up. Cream is now at $5.39 a pint. And butter has gone up to $3.79 a pound. So I think they're just trying to keep us guessing. But I'm so glad I went to Aldi. And boy, am I glad I went, you guys. Look at this. Okay, first of all, I could just sit here and sing because yes, the pumpkin marinara. I am such a fiend for this stuff. And of course I had to look at the expiration date. and these are good until 2026, 2 years from now basically. And I did go through 8 jars last year. I ran out of my last jar in June. So yes, so excited about that. I'm gonna celebrate by having some tortellini with marinara on it tonight. Woohoo! And then I went in there for the Brussels sprouts. Those were $2.89 today. Butter because I was down to 1 stick. Cream because I only had enough for maybe 2 days worth of coffee. The white vinegar I didn't have to have, in the sense of I don't use that daily, but I had used up all of my white vinegar cleaning out my boss's ice maker that I don't know how they were living eating that ice with all that green algae in there, you guys. When I saw that ice maker, if only I'd taken a picture, but I forgot to take my phone in there, so I didn't. But ew, it was nasty, and I'm pretty sure I saved his life, but I was out of vinegar, so I had to stock up, and I can't believe how much this has gone up. This was $3.65 today for the gallon. And then I was thinking the other day, gosh, a real baked potato sounds amazing. I haven't had potatoes since July-ish. I don't eat very many potatoes, so I don't buy them very often, but they weren't a very good price, $4.49 for a 5-pound bag today. But these are all baker size. And the other thought I had the other day is, you know, if I want to plant some potatoes, the perfect time to plant them is probably early mid-September here, so that by the time they shoot up with their greenness, it'll start cooling off here, and when they really get to growing, we'll be in our coolest weather through January, February, and even into early March. So, you know, potatoes, they take, gosh, 5-6 months. So yeah, I'll probably eat half of those and ignore the rest, and then they'll sprout hopefully, and I can plant them. And then I was completely out of peppers, and they're so good for you. Those were a good price today, $2.39. And then I had to kind of chuckle because I'll show you here. The Roma tomatoes, they were right beside each other. Look at this. $1.49 a pound to buy the Roma tomatoes in a little bag. Or you could freestyle it, pick your own, and they were 89 cents a pound. Well, that's a no-brainer, but based on the emptiness of the box of pre-bagged tomatoes, I think people didn't bother to look at the price. Yeah, I paid 79 cents for these 5 tomatoes. And then, wow, you guys, it has been a long time since I've seen any clearance meat at Aldi. And let me tell you what, the first person I thought of was April over at Gigi and Tennessee's channel, because that girl has been snapping up some great Aldi meat deals in the last few videos she's put up. I'll put a link to her channel down below for you all. You'll adore her. And I was just so excited to see these. The first I saw were these, and I made sure they said chicken breast, because I've learned I'm not much of a fan of chicken thighs. So yes, and I saw the 50% off sticker, and I just snapped them all up because it was Sunday afternoon, and I figured they don't go around marking things off in the late afternoon. That happened this morning. So in my opinion, they were meant for me. Well, then when I got to the register, I realized there was also a 30% off sticker, because you have to have the clerk come over and help you if you're at self-checkout to take the discount off. And she was taking off 80%. I thought, is she making a mistake? And then I glanced at my cart and said, no, I didn't realize 80% off. Get out of here. Now there's only 3 skewers in a bag, but if you look at this, I don't know how much the sticks weigh, but they can't weigh that much. And maybe they included the sauce in this calculation, I don't know. But let's pretend like it's exactly a pound of actual chicken. I paid $1.20 because I paid 20% of this, right, with the 80% off. So these bags varied in price from about $1.06 up to $1.30 after the discount, and I have, call it 8 pounds of pre-marinated chicken on skewers that I could throw in the grill if I wanted to, whatever. And yeah, I'm super excited about those. And then I just cruised a few more paces down the meat aisle, and way in the back of the case I saw another red sticker. And what? And these are thin sliced chicken breasts, you know, really good quality as far as what Aldi carries. And although I would never buy these normally, they would have been $5.49 a pound. At half price, that makes them $2.75 a pound. They're thin, so I don't have to slice my own in half like I normally do. And I have been craving chicken piccata, so these will be perfect. The other point here is the expiration date on the Purdue chicken is tomorrow. But the expiration date on these 80% off, you guys look at this, September 25th, use or freeze by, and they all say that. So all I can figure out is when the clerk was doing their markdowns this morning, they glanced at these and they were thinking August 25th. That had to be what it was. So boy, did I get lucky on those. Woohoo! I am pumped about that. If you add up my pumpkin marinara, which by the way, these were $3.99 a jar this year, and I'm pretty sure last year they were around $2.99. You know, everything's gone up, right? So what's 4 times 8? I've got 31 and change worth of pumpkin marinara there, and I have no guilt about that, zero guilt. But if you add up the cost of the pumpkin marinara and the cost of these few items here, that comes to $52. Well, guess what? This was about $9 or a little less for those. And these were roughly $12 because a lot of these packages were under $4 and I got 50% off. So what's 9 plus 12, just kind of rounding up, $21 for all of this meat compared to $52 for that little bit. But winning at Aldi. And because we're almost at the end of August and my goal was to stay out of the stores and not spend very much, let me show you what I actually ended up doing. So I made it 3 whole weeks without spending much at all, $30. And then I hit pay dirt at Aldi. So it racked up real quick at Aldi today. Between the Little Sprouts run and Aldi, I spent $76, so a total of $106 on people food for the month, which obviously more than half of that was stock up between the marinara and the clearance chicken. And then $70 on cat food. I don't need to spend any more in any of these categories, so I'm good for the month. If you add those all up, I'm still under $200 for feeding myself, my cats, and all the neighborhood birds. I'm meal prepping and making every bit count over here, you guys. I cooked 2 packages of those chicken skewers. This is only about 2/3 of the 2 package. I still have 2 left over there. Anyway, I'm chopping these up. I'm gonna put these in my work salad bowls. I chopped up 2/3 of the bag of those mixed collard greens. And I also dug around in my deep freezer and found the very last bag of pumpkin that I put up last fall. So I roasted that, it's cooling off. And once it's cooled off, it'll go in the bottom there along with this chicken. And I have a yellow bell pepper and a few of the carrots that have been straggling in my bin for weeks. And I will top it off with these greens. And I'm gonna make a lemon vinaigrette to go with that at work. Or possibly I'll use up one of these last 3 salad dressings that came from a kit. But this one's a chimichurri. This one is kind of an Asian. And this one I think is like a sweet onion. So I'm not sure I want to go with any of those flavor profiles for what I'm thinking of as a fall salad. I also made a cup of farro, which is just finishing cooking. I'll rinse that and let it cool off. That's going in the salad too. And then another use it up. As I was digging for the pumpkin, I realized I had one last bag of fresh cranberries out there in the freezer. And I have fallen in love with making my own cranberry juice. You guys, if I had any idea how easy it is and how good it tastes, I would have bought every single bag of the cranberries they had on clearance at Sprouts after the holidays. So yeah, that's what I'm up to over here, making every bit counts and getting ready for Monday. Thank you guys for stopping by today and spending some time with me and sharing in my pumpkin marinara and Aldi clearance joy. And I will see you all on the next one.